Welcome back to Talk Horror to Me, the only horror movie review podcast that knows better than to get books out of the trash. With that being said, and before we get on to our awesome hostesses with the mostesses, Carly and Brooke, let's see what we're talking about and looking at tonight. Tonight we review The Babadook. The Babadook is a 2014 Australian supernatural psychological horror film written and directed by Jennifer Kent. It is her first feature directorial debut based on her 2005 short film Monster. The film stars Essie Davis, Noah Wiseman, Daniel Henshall, Hayley McElhinney, Barbara West, and Ben Winspear. In The Babadook, a single mother, plagued by the violent death of her husband, battles with her son's fears of a monster lurking in the house, but soon discovers a sinister presence all around her. Babadook. I can say that because I picked this movie. So, but welcome, Brooke and Carly. Welcome back to another Sunday night of being amazing. So, yes. I want to know, Carly, what did you think of this
movie? Well, I watched it before. Don't fall over from shock. Okay. I had actually watched it before. I didn't remember too much about it other than the ending. And I had forgotten that they killed the dog.
Yeah. Chuck.
It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. I survived. At least you didn't see it, but you heard it, and I was not happy. But the you had talked about it before, the relationship between the mother and the son. That was the heart of this whole story. And I enjoyed watching it both times. And I get the ending a little bit better this time.
I figured you would. But how about you, Brooke?
I personally didn't like it. It was a no for me. It took me 2 tries to get into it. So yeah, it really wasn't good for me. It took too long to get to the storyline, and then it took too long to see the Babadook. And I don't know. You know how I am about when it gets to the story. So yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to let you off scot-free on this because we got Carly saying loves the story, the linchpin of mother son, the tragedy surrounding the family, and Brooke, you're saying, yeah, it was boring, and I wanted to see the monster, 20 minutes.
Yeah, I wanted to see the monster.
Okay, all right. Now, all right. So before we get to how I feel about it, Brooke, when you saw the monster, how did you feel about it?
I was like, oh, he's not scary.
I mean, he's just a monster trying to get along. He's just trying to do his thing.
It did scare me, like when he was in the background where the grandmother was. I guess it was the grandmother where she was sitting.
The next door neighbor.
Yeah. Oh yeah, with the next door neighbor. It did scare me when I saw him pop up in the back. That part did scare me.
Okay. So at least we'll give you something. All right. Now, that being said, I am kind of split between the two of you. I've said before to Carly that I felt the relationship in the family dynamic was really the thing that drove this film. It was not about the creature, the monster, the whatever. I would have liked more of the Babadook. I would have liked this. I mean, but when they treated it very sparingly. I mean, this is a Sundance movie, people. This is a movie that was done shoestring budget so it could be picked up by, some sort of distribution. Now, with that being said, they were very, very, very sparing with the Babadook. And when you did see the Babadook, it was all like kind of like it's totally half in shadow with a little gleam so you could see the outlines, which I thought was creepy. I love that. I love that they treated it that way. Because sometimes when you saw the Babadook more so, it was less effective in terms of like the seeing the creature. My biggest fallacy of this movie is the book.
Yeah.
The book is amazing, by the way. The design, the creature setting, the page design, the illustration, fantastic. My question is, where the hell did the book come from? It's like, is a Babadook also self-published, where he's got this book and he just gives it to people? I mean, it's a plot device to get us going and kind of parallel the reality. The book's paralleling what it wants to happen, hence the dog, hence the possession, hence the bring the child to me stuff. I get all that, but I'm just like, I'm not really sure how that book actually is manifested in that way. So I wish it would have been given just that little extra magic to like let us know that it is just kind of manifested for the family being targeted. But the fact that it just shows up in the kid's like, bookshelf. Hey, mommy, I want to read this one. I mean, it's like, what? But,
and then when it came back to her and it was all like cut open,
back together,
taped together, can't burn it. The cops aren't useful. Fantastic. I mean, I love the way it was used, but again, I always get hung up that one detail of like, okay, I know this is supernatural, but this book was produced by some goblin in the netherworld somewhere, under a publishing house. I don't know. As authors, Carly, you and I know it isn't that easy to publish nor repair a book. So
yeah, because Rumpelstiltskin.
Because Rumpelstiltskin. Is that the answer? Because
yes,
Rumpelstiltskin. Okay. I just needed that. I just needed like, really? I was like, I didn't know how effective Babadook with his big long fingers would be good at like illustrating. Kind of remind me of the Grinch, by the way, just with his long fingers. So, yeah, go ahead, Carl.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Just forgot what I was going to say.
So. Oh, no, I ruined it for everybody. How did you feel, either of you, both of you, how did you feel about the kind of cinematic use of like where she's falling into bed slow-mo? I mean, did that add to it or take away from it, Carly?
I felt it added to it. I mean, the whole slow motion between them having her fall back onto the bed, but they also did slow motion with the very beginning when she was dreaming about the car accident. And that was, that got me. Of course, you see all kinds of flying glass and you don't see her bleeding. I didn't get that. But, yeah, I liked it. I like that slow down for the effect.
Because I know some of it was a little not realistic. And sometimes when they do something a little more surreal, it kind of takes you out of it. So, Brooke, how did you feel? I know, again, you have problems with this film.
It didn't really affect me either way.
It's like, I didn't like it anyway, so it didn't matter what kind of shooting you did. You're going to make it really difficult for me, Brooke, because I don't know how you're going to come up with a favorite for a film you really didn't like.
Let's see. I'm interested.
I didn't have a favorite. I did have one favorite. But don't ask me first. Don't ask me first.
Oh, don't ask me first. Okay, Carly, what was your favorite moment in this film?
My favorite moment in this film, my cousin's not coming. I broke her nose in 2 places.
I thought you used that for your ratings, but now it's too late. Now you can't.
It is too late. Yeah, it's too late because I'm telling you that I giggled so hard at that point because that little girl
was a brat.
She had it coming.
She did.
She definitely did. Okay, Brooke, it's on you.
Okay, I do have my favorite. Okay. When he was attacking his mother with all those weapons he had.
Oh,
yes. Yeah. That was funny. He hit her in the head with that ball. That was funny.
It was very Home Alone. I mean, I kind of like how he just rigged everything up. The fact that he was able to rig so many things up. I know she's working. I know the kid's at school or was at school before he got, kicked out. my favorite part, other than the sparing use of the creature, was the mother son dynamic was my favorite part, because like I said, it is the linchpin of this film. And I don't know, I saw some of myself in the kid, of like, being not like the weird one per se, but like always kind of like ostracized, like, oh, we let him come because, just because, but we really don't want him here. And like I said, they don't want him at the party and they want to talk about him. So there's like a lot of the insecurity that like kind of bubbled up for me, that I was like, oh yeah, I definitely know how the kid's feeling. And he's dealing with a monster. And he doesn't want his mom to die. I mean, that stuff, insane. But my favorite part was behind the refrigerator.
Oh.
Exactly. And I like how the like social service people came in. I don't know what they were called, but they come in and he's like, oh yeah, all this stuff is out because I got problems behind the fridge and bugs.
There's
nothing there. And that was kind of that psychosis. Yeah. Oh yeah. I was like, so that psychosis, I think they treated the psychoses of the, slow progression of possession like really slick, where like you were really in her head and you thought it's happening, and then all of a sudden it's not, and we as the audience don't know what to believe anymore. So because again, if he can repair a book, he can repair the plywood and sheetrock behind the refrigerator. So I did like how we were like with her every step of the way of that breakdown. I thought was well done.
So I have a question. Did she just keep the Babadook down in the basement forever? Like,
well, spoiler alerts, everybody. Yes, at the end of this film, because as the child says, you can never get rid of the Babadook. So as a result of that, the Babadook was expelled, literally, from her after possession is a big black goop. And as a result, it tried to reform, but was locked in the basement. So therefore, she had power over it, but had to take care of it. So
there's a little childhood song that's like, nobody loves me, everybody hates me, I'm going to eat some worms.
I'll
That's the end of the movie. Huh?
I don't think I've heard that song.
Well, you don't.
Yeah, that wasn't in the movie, by the way, but the idea that they had to feed the creature, and now we know that this like is going to happen forever.
Yeah,
because now there's a legacy that, oh no, don't go downstairs. When you're older, you'll be doing this. So she is now caretaker of the Babadook, and the kid, when he is older, is going to have to care for the Babadook and feed it in the basement. So it's kind of crazy, because you talk about like monsters under the bed, monsters in the closet. Now you have a monster living in the basement that you have to feed.
It was funny though. Like all it took was one insult, and Babadook was like, oh, "Okay, I'm done. I'm done."
Well, I mean, but like he got mad at her with the food, and like was like, and he's like. It's like, oh, he's fine today. He wasn't a big deal. It was fine. So I kind of dig that. I dig the idea of like these monsters exist, but yet they only can do so much before they're like submissive to you as a human being. So like if you're not afraid, all of a sudden it's like their power's gone. I kind of take that completely.
Yeah, I liked that. That was it. I forget what it was that my middle child said when we were watching this today. Something about like, what a gay thing to do. Just bow down. One insult. Okay.
Hey, we're not saying that the Babadook was like the highest chain of like all the monsters. You know,
I would have liked to hear the voice more. You know what would have been cool? What would have been funny is if you heard Babadook there when the protective services people were there. When they're talking about the birthday party and everything, they got Babadook's downstairs. He could have tried to make an appearance. That would have been hilarious.
They could have. I mean, but can you really be scared of like a monster with a top hat? I mean, I mean, he has some fashion sense, so obviously he's not so demented and scarred.
Right.
Well, Terrifier had a hat too, didn't he?
Yeah, but his
A
hat was
little
so
bitty
his
small
hat was
head.
so tiny. In comparison, the Babadook's hat was big.
Yeah, the
So
top
maybe
hat.
the smaller the hat, the more maniacal you are. Maybe that's what
It must be what it is.
I don't know, but that child actor was amazing. He did
Yeah.
an amazing job as a child actor.
And
I think,
he really brought the fear forward. And when he was screaming and his eyes were all wide, I was like, oh shit, we're good.
It's always about the wide eyes. Any kid that's got like those big eyes,
Yeah.
very expressive, very expressive. And the fact that like you could just feel like his concern for his mom, the feeling of not being taken seriously. He just was definitely covering all the range. We've seen a lot of child actors in these films, from the Omen remakes, and some of the ones are like, really doesn't fit the bill, or takes you out of the film at certain points. This kid was in it. He was a strange little kid from beginning to end.
Cute.
And he was, like I say, he had this kind of weird, strange cuteness to him, but he was just kind of this outsider kid. And he was always playing up to that strength, and I think it was perfect for this role.
And I could feel her pain with his mommy. I've been through that.
Is that the horror film you want to see, Carly? It's called Mommy.
I
just don't want to live through that shit again.
I still do that to my mom in the store. I'm like, Mom, and she's like, what? In the store.
Yeah, but is she trying to take the card and power away from you as fast as possible?
No, not yet. Not yet. She hasn't done it yet.
Not yet. I mean, you're still young. Anything could happen.
Yes, you're still a baby.
Still a baby. So how did you guys feel about we'll get to the rating in a minute, but we know Brooke was like, down. Carly was like, hey, it's better than I remember it. So I guess, Carly, to you, why was it better, or what more appreciative the second time around?
Well, when you had spoken about the relationship between the mother and the son, I guess I really didn't pay attention to that the first time around, because I was all like, okay, where the fuck's the monster, right?
You were going all Brooke about it. Got it.
I was. But this time I was like, oh, okay, I see it. When she sits up and she goes, you little shit. I was like, oh, I felt that in my soul, but
this film was kind of reminiscent of Stephen King's Boogeyman.
Oh,
where in that film we see very little of the Boogeyman, and it's all about the family dynamic.
Okay.
With Poltergeist, with any film that we've seen that is not necessarily about the creature or the ghost or the poltergeist or the monster, is really about the family. Yes. And how they deal with that adversity. And sometimes the most successful horror films that are not slasher films, or they're a little more sci-fi or suspense or thriller. I think that is what really makes the movie sing, is that aspect of it, not necessarily how good the creature effect is.
Yeah. Like whenever
sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, you're good. Go ahead.
It was just he finally got to celebrate his birthday on his birthday.
Yeah.
That was sweet.
Yeah.
That was sweet. With the big happy birthday sign.
Yeah. And that too, having the death, the fact that he said it so matter-of-factly, and he always said it matter-of-factly. Oh yeah, my daddy died when my mom was having me as a baby. It was it was so just, it happened, because he has no memory of it otherwise. It was just a factoid. So the idea that mom was so scarred by the child being the reminder of her husband's death is kind of super powerful in and of itself. And I know they touch on it several times, but they don't make it the crux of things. But just that added component is also damn, that's why the Babadook got you, because you're so scarred, yo. I'm just saying. But with that being said, I want to know, and I'm probably going to pick on Brooke first because she hated it so much.
But see, I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. So I'm in the middle. I'm going to give it a 3.0. He's my father too. So
Oh,
all right. Okay, I'll give you that. And what about you, Miss? Okay. Well, that's better than I thought. I thought you were going to go with like a 2. So
I had to deduct a whole point for killing the dog. So we're going to go roughly about a 3.9.
Okay.
Nothing in my hands. Nothing in my hands.
I totally forgot about that. That's the most annoying part of that kid, that stupid magic trick.
I loved it.
It got a little much. It's like, watch me, mommy, watch me. You're not watching. Watch me, watch me. So to understand this, a full point off, Carly would have given this film a 4.9 out of 5 had they not had animal cruelty. Okay, understand. So trigger warning for everybody who wants to watch this film. There is a dog and something happens to the dog. Enough said. For me, I really was not prepared, honestly. I have no notes on this. I have really nothing. So I'm going to give it, I mean, I did love it in a way. It's not like top end words like this is going to be a masterpiece, but for Ken's directorial debut in her writing, to be taken from Sundance and like from a short story and a film made from it. I mean, that's amazing. That's like the pinnacle of an indie director and screenwriter. So I'm going to give it like a 4.5. Dog.
Nice.
Thank you.
You do the voice so well.
Well, I was actually, I did the audio and narrative for the Babadook. Yeah. People don't know that I did the voiceover. Yes. No, I did not. I wish. That'd been awesome to put on my credits. Voice of the Babadook in the Babadook.
Yes. Well, at least you didn't do the scream.
No screams.
That was screechy. I was like, damn.
Yeah, for anybody who has like auditory overstimulation, there's a little of that in here as well. And here's the irony. I thought this was a British film, not an Australian film. And I don't know why I thought that. It just had a British vibe to it. Did not know it was Australian.
I was expecting there to be that romance trope in there with the guy that she worked with, but nope. Once she left that day, you didn't see that guy again. So
that's
maybe
true.
It's a good thing because
I think Brooke has something to say about that.
You didn't see him ever again after that.
No, you never did. That was an awesome loose thread. It's like, hey, we got this guy, and somehow his third act appearance got cut. On the whole thing.
That's what it seems like.
Yeah. It seemed like they set him up to be like that. Yeah, like that trope. Like you said, it's like, oh, I'm concerned and I'm going to come in at the end, try to save the day, get knocked on my head with a brick. He falls out flat, and then she's got to, do it on her own. That's kind of like what we always see. And maybe, I don't know. I mean, as a writer, I'd like to think that he tried and then he realized, oh, you lied to me when you said, that your son was sick. So it was almost like playing up the fact that she was being untruthful to people. And that was kind of like, all right, I'm done. I thought, I was here for you as a friend, and I realized what you're really about. So could have been that. But yeah, there is some interest of like, why did it just like, I brought you flowers or I brought you a present, and all right, I guess I'll just go home. That's crazy. I did not think about that at all. But now that you've said, I can't think of anything else.
Yeah. I just like the kid fighting his mom. That was my favorite part.
I did like the fact that he knotted her up in a basement.
Yes.
And it was like, dude, you need to be a Boy Scout because you did a terrible job with those knots.
He tried. He
did try. He did a hell of a job. I mean, he did a lot of work, but still. I mean,
he had booby traps and everything. I think he knew it was going to happen.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, because he kept saying he didn't want her to die.
Yeah.
So he obviously knew the Babadook. He knew the story because the story really lays it out about what's going to happen. And those things did come to pass. So therefore, you could just assume that she was going to die.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But that's just us. But really,
I feel like at the end, their relationship got closer.
Oh yeah,
Like real
absolutely.
closer.
Definitely.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the fact you have birthday on your day, the fact that they both were healthy, like looking healthy and happy, and she didn't look as haggard and drawn out and just done with life as she was before. Absolutely agree. Now, you saw the transition card as Brooke was talking. My fault.
Sorry.
But that's okay. No, it's my fault. It's my fault. I'll take that. So who's next? Who's got the next? You.
Is it
And
me?
what are we watching? Yes, I have to look at my notes because I keep effing it up lately. So, yes, it is Brooke. Brooke, what are we watching next?
Antebellum, one of Carly's favorites.
Yes.
But we did do it at the beginning of Talk Horror to Me, but we did not do it with Chuck. So now we're doing it with Chuck.
And we didn't do it with this formula.
Yeah.
Because we have a formula now. See,
we have a formula. Yeah. I don't know what that formula is. I've never heard of this film. I know, Brooke, you've mentioned this film many times, and I have never heard of this film, and I am excited to actually know what it even is about. So it is where it's on Hulu.
Ripped my heart out. Yes.
Oh no, I don't want to watch it then. Can we pick something else?
It's so good.
No.
It's so good though.
It is so
but
good.
I don't want to rip my heart out.
Is
this a romance film or is this a horror film?
No.
It's horror. It's
okay.
It's
I thought maybe
horror
it was like the
slash, I wouldn't say history, but it's horror slash something.
It's something.
It's
I don't know, like,
people. The way Scooby-Doo said it best, on Scooby-Doo, the real monsters are people.
Ah.
Yeah.
I thought Scooby-Doo said zoinks.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Scooby-Doo said.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that was the whole premise is the real monsters are people.
Oh
Okay.
yeah. And you got to pay attention to it too.
Yeah,
you got to pay
attention.
close attention because it's going to be like, is it bedtime?
You're going to go, what?
Yeah, you're going to be like, wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I like movies that make me think and make me pay attention. Those are the best films. So
I can't wait till you watch it.
Okay.
Oh, I really can't wait to hear what you think.
What? Oh, wow. Okay. This is a lot of pressure to put on me, y'all. So I'm just saying, because what if I come in and I'd be like, yeah, it took me like 5 tries to get into it, and whatever.
And it has Janelle Monáe, however you say her name, Janelle Monáe, and she's a singer. So this is like her first movie, I think.
Okay.
She did good.
She does a fantastic job.
She did amazing.
Yes.
All right. Well, I'm excited. If you two are so excited about it, I'm excited because you two are like, I can't wait. I can't wait.
Well, I mean, I would have loved to watch it again. I didn't think we would until Brooke suggested it. And I was like, yeah, because we didn't do it with this formula. We didn't do it with Chuck. Let's get this done. It was my very first movie.
Oh,
yeah.
It was my very first.
It's almost like it should be like every time there's a new host, you have to watch Annabelle as like the breaking ground with them. I mean, I guess you finally think enough of me to keep me around, so this is now the film you want me to see for real. So
we got there.
I appreciate that. So, all right, I know we're closing in on the end, but before we go, my final words on this film are going to be, since you don't have any questions for me, I'm just going to spitball and say I liked it. I liked the monster. I like seeing like the little silhouette relief of the Babadook. I feel bad for him. I think he should get his own spinoff to find out what he was all about when he was a monster, like trying to self-publish through Amazon. That's really what I want to see. That's the story I want to see.
Everybody hates me. I'm going to eat some worms.
That's what Carly's next book is about, eating worms. I think I was done with Diary of a Wimpy Kid, but that's a whole other story, whole other show. But with that, I'm sending you all my love. Thank you, ladies, for love. Wow, awesome. You two are amazing. That's all I'm saying. So with that, I'll bid Brooke adieu. Carly, to you as well. Love to you. And for everybody who joined us tonight, thank you so much for watching. And don't ever forget, we're always here to scare you later.